I don't mind like playing with Pucci. Like I don't know if that's his thing, but I would never judge him. It's fun, and you guys really should have. The whole house knows that I'm a sex coach. Part of my process to become a sex coach is literally to find out what makes you happy.
What makes you happy? Hello and good evening, everybody. It is Sunday, July 17th, 2022, and we just finished watching the Week 2 nominations episode of Big Brother 24 here on Super Mader Brothers Podcasting. I'm Dave Mader, joined by my brother Jeff Mader, joined with co-host Jaemeel Robinson, streaming live here on Facebook, YouTube, and on Twitch, or you might be listening to us on the audio version. Guys, we saw here tonight with the new HOH, Jasmine crowned, and she puts up Pooch and Taylor. She doesn't care who goes of the two of them, and we're gonna see how this power veto goes in our spoiler section and everything else. But guys, what do you make of this tonight's episode? Jeff, what do you think? Let's start with you.
I think I'm impressed with the cast. I think they're into the season. They're energetic. They're fun to watch. A lot of the characters are different. The game overall, kind of, it's like amateurs right now, right? Like a lot of them. So, but they're finding their footing. But so it's slow moving right now, I would say, in the game. But because it's obvious things, it's Pooch nominating himself. It's Taylor, the obvious choice. Yaz winning the HOH is kind of like great.
Is it great?
She thinks she's in the Power Alliance, but I don't know about in the long run for Yaz. I think I don't know. She kind of drives me nuts. This character, she's a little all over the place as far as like the way she's smart. I actually think she's really smart in the game, but at the same time, like her character on the show is kind of infuriating to watch. Right. Which actually makes for a good villain. I think she's going to be very interesting.
Yes.
Yeah.
Jaemeel, what's your headline at this hour? Where do you stand? Where do you think is the most egregious thing coming out of this episode? The thing that we can't... what's on the tip of our tongues right now? What are we missing here?
Headline. New HOH crowned via garbage competition.
You didn't like the pie eating?
Stupid. So stupid. I felt like if it was like search for something, okay. True and false questions in the pie? No. If you're gonna have a quiz, just do a quiz, because they're gonna do a quiz next week, and it's just like pick one or the other. They try to combine two different challenges into one stupid one.
Dave, what is your take on this at this hour?
Well, I thought the pie eating competition was kind of gross and weird, and didn't really work for me overall as a TV kind of a competition, because it was mostly people just like, it was like, who is this person again? Who's got their face in the pie? Oh, right, it's this person. Ultimately, Yasmin wins. It was kind of disappointing for me overall. Obviously,
I have a different take on it. I really enjoyed it, and I'm backed up here by Mr. Sam Hingden. I enjoyed the comp because you know what? It was different. It was not like, some stupid, comp they always do that's like, hold on to this, or, roll this ball or so, whatever. I enjoyed the fact that it was kind of like, oh, okay, they're actually gonna, there's no athletic ability into what they were doing. It was, so there was no edge that way.
Very interesting that all of a sudden occurred during this part of the HOH competition. Just interesting that, Jasmine.
I thought the same thing. I'm like, do they have these certain comps lined up? They're like, okay, we'll switch it around. Well, since Yaz got hurt, we'll do the pie eating contest earlier. And they set it up and they go, okay, perfect. Now she can do this. And then she wins it.
The original competition was how long you could stand on one foot, and then they changed it. That wouldn't be fair.
They're like, no, you bring out the pies.
Is it right to change the competition if you feel like it's not fair?
Well, Big Brother can do whatever they want. It's their game.
Yeah. It's not like they revealed. So the way they kind of positioned this was they never said it was like part 2 of the HOH comp. They just said it was the HOH comp, which was it's mixed messaging in my opinion.
Well, you have
Right?
7
Jamil.
people in it. Yeah.
Jamil, whose southern accent was worse tonight, Daniel's or Yaz's?
Yazin's.
I didn't pull any of it because it's egregious.
Daniel's
Daniel's was more
sounds
endearing.
like Sylvester Stallone in Rhinestone,
Yes.
right? If you've ever seen Rhinestone, check it out. But Jasmine's performance is akin to what people refer to as Nicholas Cage's Italian accent in Captain Morella's Mandolin,
right.
right? Which people refer to as a Chef Boyardee accent, right?
Right.
But isn't Nicolas Cage
Jasmine's
Italian?
horrible. What?
Isn't Nicolas Cage Italian?
Doesn't mean that he could do an Italian accent.
Oh, okay.
But what cracks me up about Yaz is she's in the bed and like she has no accent at all. And then really very little. And then, you know, she's on the show and then she's in this big boisterous like southern drawl. And I'm like, are you Dolly Parton when you're on TV? But when you're just chilling, it's like
You're
you're
Yasmin.
just like, yeah, you're Yaz. You're like, oh, what's up? You know, I don't know. It's fascinating to me her character on the show compared to like who she kind of seems to be in the game.
But
yeah, you know,
I think we got a good demonstration of like who is a DR kind of actor and who, regardless of what they do, they're gonna be themselves during it. Taylor narrating the pie eating contest is just a louder version of the same character that she has throughout it. It's like she's trying to be like a character. She can't. It's just her, right? And like I appreciate that. Then the I feel like Jasmine's gonna break out a banjo one of these episodes and just start like jamming around, or she's gonna bring out like a jug and start like making a tune with it as she, you know, it's
bring out the washboard and
what is your HOH like room gonna look like or should look like? It should be like, you know, oh, looks just like the farm. Oh, I woke up at 6 a.m. because I'm used to like, you know, milking the cows. Wow, woohoo! Let me get that John Deere.
And then they ask her in the house, like, you know, where were you living right before you came to the house? Oh, I was in Atlanta, you know, urban Atlanta.
Is that how you speak in Atlanta? Is that the dialect of the local neighborhood?
Oh, it's so bad.
She's an interesting character, but then there's you know, the whole thing here was Pooch. What do we make of Pooch?
He's not a very good player, I think is what we can take from this so far. He's very cocky. He thinks his place in the house is better than it is. He thinks his position is better than it is. I think his alliance members, if you can call them that, are just like, are you dumb? Are you're willing to go up? You're willing to volunteer to go up? We're going to take you out just on principle. This is like stupid. Like, you know, anybody who chooses to go up like this deserves what they get. I think like my draft picks, Jeff, Amira, Monty, looking really good. Jaemeel, I don't think you can deny the greatness of Team Dave at this point in the competition. They are running this house.
So wait, hold on. Let's go back to Pucciarelli, right? Who
he's not.
If
he's not Team Dave,
he is like Reggie Mantle in Archie. He's born to lose. He's Loki, but less charming, right? He thinks he's like in a good position, and he's so boisterous, and you know. I feel like he should be chewing gum every time he talks. I get that vibe, right? Yeah. He is the right hand man to the actual villain of the show. He doesn't seem like a lead character. He seems like a side character. Huh? He's an underboss. Yes, I just if there was anyone in the house that I was not worried about in terms of like being strategic or even a physical threat, it's Pooch. I feel more worried about Michael and Turner than Pooch, right? He just does not give any threatening vibes, and all of his thoughts seem half-brained. Now, regarding your
Question here from BB. Evening, gentlemen. Which is worse, Pooch or Marcellus eviction?
Okay, hold on, Jeff. Before you answer, Dave, do you know what he's referring to in terms of Marcellus's eviction?
No.
Okay, Marcellus in classic BB won the power of veto. He then did not use it on himself when he was on the block, and he got voted out.
Okay. So
Right?
it's like falling on your sword.
No, he thought it was going to be safe, and he stupidly did not use the power of veto to save himself, even though he won it.
Oh, well, that's tough.
Yes. Versus Pooch, who
well,
volunteered.
the Marcellus is worse than based on what you've explained to me. But Pooch not doing himself any favors here by volunteering to go up a pawn. Week 2 here, unnecessary. There's other people that he could advocate to go up as the pawn, like Terrence, for instance. Here, if you're going to put 2 people up, he doesn't have to be the one to go up. So,
Marcellus has happened a lot later in the game, right? Though, Jaemeel,
Yeah.
like, right, like that's the difference here. This is early in the game, and he like Alyssa kind of put it on the episode. He's breaking all the rules of Big Brother. You know, like you don't offer to go up. You don't, you know, even the way he picked the people from the competition with the porta potties and that whole thing, and he just picked like the first person out. That was stupid. Like he should have, I think, been a little bit more strategic or try to figure out who he was going to work with. You know, it was painful to watch him pick those players, and I was like, oh, he's not gonna. I don't think he's gonna fare well because you need to be decisive in the house. It's tough.
So, okay, I think regardless of what happens, 1, Pooch is an idiot, but 2, it's his idiocy is going to be either emboldened or he's going to be punished for it automatically, and the emboldened attitude will lead him to further issues. So let's say, as per the results of this nomination, right? The plan goes through. Taylor goes home. He's like, well, I was justified in my decision to go on the block, and we got rid of Taylor, right?
Yeah.
He's going to feel like he didn't do anything wrong when we know he clearly did, right?
Yes.
And obviously, if it doesn't work out for him, his ass is going home, right? So this is not a win situation. Are people going to say, well, Pooch sacrificed himself to, you know, he put himself in a position, so we're going to look after Pooch? I don't get the feeling of anyone in the house feels that they owe Pooch anything.
No, I agree with that completely. There's no loyalty here, and he's if he's not evicted, it's only going to be by the skin of his teeth this week.
Yeah,
I think you know, and that's his own doing, and it's kind of you know, even if he goes deeper in this game, I think we'll always be looking back at this moment. Remember when Pooch volunteered to go to the block? And he was almost evicted, or you know, I think this is going to be a shadow that hangs over him for a long time, regardless. But he might go this week anyway.
It's week 2. Why do you? There's tons of people in the house. You don't want to suggest yourself.
Yeah,
Why would you do that?
No,
only if you want to go home. That's the only reason you do that, you know. And I don't know. I get the impression Pooch doesn't really have a mind for the game. And probably isn't really digging his experience. That'd be my guess. You know, he seems a little like I don't know, out of place when I watch him on TV too. I'm like, he doesn't seem like he's getting it. You know, which when you're playing against these seasoned people that have like really prepped to be on the show, it's not easy.
He's running in quicksand or in cement.
Yeah.
He's running in quicksand. So you say, okay, so. I think there's a couple other things to break down in this episode.
Yeah, I want to talk about my draft picks. Daniel and Nicole. Once again, we get a scene in this episode, Dave, where Nicole,
the road rats,
she says she's road rat for life. I'm like, oh, she gets into the 6-person alliance with like the you know, the beautiful people. It's always the beautiful people alliance. It just changes a form every year.
Yeah, every season it's roughly the same makeup.
Right. That's this one. It's like
this
a Mira,
is the level
Alyssa
6 of BB24.
Yeah. What is it? Amira, Alyssa. You got
Nicole, Daniel.
Nicole. No, Daniel. Daniel's not in it.
Yeah, Nicole, Monty, Kyle,
Yes.
and Michael.
Kyle, Michael. Yeah.
Amira's in it, right?
And Amira. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have Amira and Monty. That's Team Dave.
But okay, my issue from Nicole isn't the immediate reaction that Michael had when he joined this group, which was, wait a second, you're saying everyone's locked, so I'm the last person
Yeah.
to come in. So that means I'm in the bottom of this. I'm not going to put all of my faith into this alliance. And Nicole definitely should have that thought process as well. This isn't a real thing outside of an advantage for you, right? Don't secure your life preservers to it. Now, Dave,
Yes.
I think you want me to talk about Team Dave.
Monty
No.
and Amira.
You want me to talk about them.
They're great. Go ahead.
Amira, she's doing work, and I appreciate that. Monty not closing that gap with Taylor was dumb.
He's
he-
working up to it. He
should immediately close that gap regardless, right?
Yeah.
Because especially now, Paloma's not here to tell tales, right? So he could say, hey, I took your advice and Paloma just blew it out of proportion, right? Just get that narrative out there, because at the end of the day, Taylor's in the house, Paloma isn't, right? If Taylor won HOH, he could have been in a bad spot, right? He needs to CYA, cover his butt. I'm not saying he's doing a bad job, mind you. I just was disappointed that he didn't close that gap. Even if he wasn't being genuine, close that gap until you know that the person has no power, right? Because it would have made no difference if he closed that gap or not between what happened, in this episode.
True. But if you say CYA, but then you say cover your butt, A, this is starting for B. So are you saying
The same thing?
It's the
They're
same
synonymous.
thing. Sorry, I said it both ways. I could just, let's just get the explicit label on this episode, Dave, is what you're telling me.
I just want to clarify.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair
To
enough.
get on the record. Question here is, didn't Monty tell Nicole that he was the one who wanted her in the already existing alliance? Oops, but Nicole did not pick up on that.
Well, look, he should repeat it again, because at the very least, Monty's covering his ass about the situation, and you should always CYB whenever you're having a conversation when we're revealing that type of information. I'm doing it to just blow your mind, Dave. Sorry.
All right. Jeff, do you have any take on this? Monty, is he a great Big Brother player?
No, I think he's no. I don't think so. I think thinks he is, but I don't think he has a real knack for getting around the house, getting into all the relationships.
What about Amira? Is Amira going to win this game?
Amira has a chance. I think Amira's a good player, and I think she's going to maneuver herself well. I think she's smart. There are other players though, like my road rats, Dave, that might be. Maybe I misunderestimated them. I thought they were going to be really bad, but maybe they're going to do good here as a duo.
They're overrated.
Wait, so okay, hold on a second. I think that Monty's best option is to get in with the road rats,
right? And Michael too. I think I think if Michael actually worked with Daniel and Nicole, it would be to their best.
But what if it was Brittany and Turner who got together with Daniel and Nicole?
I don't think anyone's gonna work with Brittany. Honestly, I think Brittany's like
Brittany and Michael. Brittany and Michael are a thing.
Are they really?
Not Turner.
Brittany and Michael.
Brittany and Michael.
Michael wants to work with Nicole with Brittany.
Michael does. Okay. Does Michael still hate Daniel?
I don't think Michael is the type of person that is motivated by those things. It's more like would Michael take a shot at Daniel if he has HOH?
He has a good excuse
Possible.
to.
What
He has
about
a very good excuse too.
the Oasis is completely intact? Daniel, Kyle, Monty, Pooch, Turner, and Joseph.
Pooch.
Pooch on the block.
Yeah, that's not working.
No.
No.
Yeah.
Okay. Can we talk about Indy?
I know you want to talk about Indy. You're
Yeah.
chomping at the bit.
What do you want to know about
The
Indy?
whole house knows that I'm a sex coach.
The music,
Oh.
so like cheesy 70s porn.
Yeah.
Uh,
I can't get enough Indy on this show. I'm telling you, she is the star of Big Brother 24, and I'm not holding back.
I think you're right. I think she's gonna have the best sound bites for
Yeah.
sure at the show.
Part of my process to become a sex coach is literally to find out what makes you happy.
What makes you happy?
Oh Lord.
What makes you happy?
Part of my process, literally, as a sex coach. Like, that's the sentence. Like,
I'm
what makes you
not
happy?
mentioning previous occupations I thought that she worked at.
No.
Yeah. And then she's like, I don't mind playing with you, Poochie.
I
Does
don't
she-
mind like playing with Poochie. Like I don't know if that's his thing, but I would never judge him. You know, it's fun, and you guys really should have.
Let me ask you this. If you asked what's her name, Indy, directly, have you ever done sex therapy while flying as a flight attendant? And she had to answer honestly. I think she would definitely say yes.
She would say no. I think she's a
No, just therapy, just sex. Like she.
So her voice line that Dave played, I think she started laughing after she said Poochie's name, because I don't think she was really, with that sentence was about Poochie. I think it is something that rhymes with that. And can you play it again?
I don't mind like playing with Poochie. Like
I don't mind playing with Poochie.
I don't mind like playing with Poochie. Like I don't know if that's his thing, but I would never judge him. You know, it's fun, and you guys really should have.
You really should have.
I love goat. Goat's my favorite color.
I
I love horses.
I love horses.
I love horses. I do horseback riding whenever I have extra money because it's super expensive. But anyways,
Oh,
she needs to be protected at all costs.
Yeah.
At all costs.
I don't care what twist you have to introduce to save her. It's like the backyard boss 2.0, whatever the hell.
It's like the
And
internet.
I'm trying to get my degree to become a sex coach.
The international traveler is safe until the final five.
After I need what's it called again? Not OTEV. I need Zingbot. I think Zingbot would be inspired with Indy.
I think so too. Like, hey, Indy.
I've been singing for over a decade now.
You know it's coming.
Thailand!
Oh no.
Listening to you talk is like sitting by a brook. An endless babbling brook. Shut the
Oh.
Everyone knows that Kylan babbles.
The more he talks, the less people understand what the hell he's saying.
You wonder what just happened here and how did 40 minutes
You're
go
just gonna
by?
play the
He
episode.
never shuts up.
They
Kobe
need Kathy Griffin.
doesn't step down from the challenge. He accepts it.
Oh, you're just running through the clips. They
Talking
need,
about my nephew right now.
they need Kathy Griffin to do Zingbot this year. I think she'll be in. Some
Someone
have
tried to
tried.
compare Indy to Sam. Who's Sam?
Sam from a couple seasons ago.
Yeah,
that was kind of like quirky, and she was in the AI for that 1 week or whatever.
Yeah. No, I don't think so. I don't think that's fair.
Can I get you guys' opinion on something sort of related but kind of unrelated at the same time?
Sure.
I think this is important because I saw this come up the other day on my feed, and I need to know what you guys think. Okay, this is the so-called Big Brother Hall of Fame.
Okay.
And it includes Dr. Will, Dan.
How many of these people do you know? Who do you not know?
About half, I would say.
Okay, who do you know? Who do you know?
I know Dr. Will.
Okay.
I know Dan. I know
Yeah.
Derek. I don't know Danielle. I know Tyler. I know Cody. I know Vanessa. I know Ian. I know Evil Dick. I know Boogie. I know Janelle. I know Rachel. I don't know June. I know Enzo. I know Brittany. And I don't know Nokomis.
Nokomis, who coined the phrase backdoor.
Right.
But Jeff was Nokomis. I don't even remember.
Nokomis?
Yeah.
She was Cowboy's sister, long lost sister. That was a great season.
But if you were to create the inaugural Hall of Fame of Big Brother USA, would you put these people in it?
Certain ones, yeah.
I would
Who
not.
would you?
Okay, go ahead.
Just who would you keep and who would you not, Jaemeel?
Well, I guess we would just go who do we not have in here?
Who's Nokomis?
Nokomis is a good player. Nokomis is a
worthy,
excellent strategist. Excellent strategist. I don't know how I feel about Cody being there. Nokomis. You need to go back and watch Nokomis' clips. Nokomis was great.
What season is June?
June is season 6. No.
Is it she's season 6?
Am I right?
Looks a little early. I forget.
But Enzo? Why is Enzo there?
Enzo shouldn't be there.
I don't think Vanessa should be there.
Yeah.
Vanessa did dominate. And she's a banana peel at the end.
She's an honorable mention at best. She does not deserve to be in the Hall of Fame of Big Brother. She never even won. She played 1 year.
You're questioning Vanessa, but Cody's fine?
This is clearly ranked by
Cody played twice and won once, and he came runner-up the other time. She came third. Who cares?
She dominated that season.
But she didn't win. She's not even the runner-up. She's not even the runner-up.
Chanel never won. Yeah.
Ian deserves to be there.
Brittany never won.
Brittany never won too. So this is also based on DRs.
Why is Paul not there?
Well, that's a better question. Like, there's certain players, like
I would put Paul before Tyler.
Yeah,
right.
I think I put Paul before. I put Paul before Ian.
I don't get Enzo.
I could understand why you would put Paul before Ian.
Even okay, like
I think
Rachel...
they're missing. Big Jeff's also not here, and
Jeff.
I'm not saying he's a great player. What about Big Jeff and what's her face? Jordan. Why neither of them are represented.
What about Andy Herron? He's not here.
Andy Herron's not here.
Remember, we don't talk about that season.
Zach Ranch should be there, if you ask me.
So if we're including DRs, then take out Tyler, take out Cody, leave Vanessa, take out Ian.
Yes. Take out Nokomis, put in Paul. That's what BB and I.
No. Take out Enzo, put in Paul. Nokomis belongs there. Right? And I would be fine with everyone else. Right?
Vanessa doesn't deserve to be there. Quite frankly.
I disagree.
She's third place in one season.
So
she had a good year. It was going well until it didn't.
Evil Dick didn't do well in any other season that he appeared in. Did he ever finish a season outside of the one he won?
No, it's all for that one season, really.
So,
well, he won the one season. That's more than I could say about Vanessa.
Well, Daniel Reyes, she never won.
Yeah, this Hall of Fame is not all about winning.
Yeah. Daniel Reyes would have won if it was not for the DR.
If you had to assign a connective thread to all these players you see up on the screen, what is it?
Yeah, I would say Jameel's right. It's their presence on the DR and how much they narrated the show.
Yeah, I know Vanessa controlled the house to the end of that season until Steve Moses won and cut her.
She slipped on a banana peel.
Yeah,
she literally slipped on a banana peel.
fine, but she ultimately didn't have him locked up, so she failed.
They
Like,
felt it was necessary to put her there.
I always
Yeah.
felt that her game is a little bit overrated because ultimately, like, if she had played a better social game, like Steve would have taken her.
Here's, I know it's not Big Brother related, but I think it is in terms of what you just said. Would you put Russell Hantz in the Hall of Fame of Survivor?
Maybe
I
but
would.
as an outlier.
As an outlier, oh,
He's
You're
only
gonna
a runner-up.
But
He
you
never
would
won.
put Rupert Bonham in the Hall of Fame.
No, no.
I think a lot of
definitely
people would.
I would be more exclusive with my Survivor Hall of Fame. I would put like only a few people in it.
you would
Obviously,
only
I put
put
Richard.
winner? Would you only put winners?
I think so, or like
Would
probably
Would all the winners make it into the Hall of Fame?
not necessarily. Not all the winners. Not the winners of the bad seasons.
Then Russell needs to be on the list. Then
He didn't win.
it doesn't matter if you're not going to include all the winners and use that as the caveat as to what makes it in and what makes it not in. Then there is enough involved in terms of the rest of the game where he would have to be included. Because if you're
Right.
talking about being a narrator, top notch in that season, in one of the he dominated that in terms of finding idols, in terms of like being a force on a show. Like
He should have won. What was it 19? He should have won that season, and then he could have got to play in season 40, and that would have been awesome. But he did, that bitter jury took it away from him.
Okay, I'll put Russell Hantz in the Hall of Fame of Survivor, but in terms of Big Brother, Vanessa doesn't make it. For me,
That's
I
fair. I mean, yeah, I think she played really good that season. But
I would put people ahead of her that are not here on this list.
who would you have?
Paul is one.
Who other than Paul?
Paul for sure.
Who would you have on this list that's not here?
Would you put Xavier?
I put Xavier ahead of Vanessa.
Oh,
Josh
no.
Martinez.
Xavier ahead of Enzo.
That isn't hard. That isn't hard to do.
What about Ozza?
Do what you need to do.
No. She's
No,
not a
I
legend.
Would you put Tiffany above Vanessa?
No.
See, Tiffany, I would say could be on this list.
Who's
I wouldn't-
undisputable? Who's undisputable on this list?
Dr. Will, Dan,
Derek.
Derek.
Is Danielle undisputable?
Yeah.
Is Tyler
Tyler.
undisputable?
Tyler,
I think he's
in the
disputable.
modern day, I'd say he deserves
He's
to
looked to as a pillar of Big Brother.
But he
Cody.
didn't even win.
It doesn't matter. People like his game so much and emulate his game.
His
He's
game
an
was a
influence.
failure.
Doesn't matter. He got to the end.
He did.
That's not a victory. Like that's
And he played well the second time too.
Cody, okay, knows this well. He came up second place, came back and won. He wouldn't have come back to win if he had already won.
I don't think. I think that I can't give Cody as much credit as people want to give him. I
Yeah.
can't do it. If I'm gonna do that, then I would put Paul ahead, definitely. Because as a number one person, like as the star of the team, he got to the end both times. There's a difference between being a passenger on a great team and being a driver. Cody, first season, was a passenger.
Yep.
Second time, he was a driver. Paul was a driver both times.
Yeah, and Cody also in his season where he won, really pre-gamed a lot and had like he had deals with people going into that house. So that changes things too.
What about Nicole Franzel? Why is she not on this list?
Yeah, she doesn't deserve to be. She sucks.
No.
I'm adorable.
No. That's why, like, I'm not fighting for Josh Martinez to win, and I think he's Nicole Franzel's in the same position as Josh Martinez.
Right.
Well, probably.
Like happenstance winner.
Right? Like,
so we're kind of saying that the winning of the Big Brother is kind of secondary to how you play it.
You've won the money. You don't necessarily have earned yourself in Valhalla, right? So
this is like the heaven. This is where the great warriors of Big Brother go to die. Their souls will forever feast.
and
in the Great
Mew
Hall.
Mew Meow Meow is not in Valhalla.
But Rachel Riley's there, but not Alyssa Riley.
I don't like Rachel Riley, but she belongs here. That's
Yes,
right.
more
It's a
than
whole
Brendan.
What
More
about
than
Alyssa? Big Brother 15. Don't you try to act like it didn't happen. It happened, Big Brother 15. Remember Jesse?
What about Danny Donato's not on here.
Where's what?
Danny Donato's not on here.
That's a good question.
She did well both
only
seasons.
Evil
Well,
Dick
she
there.
played 3 times.
And
now.
it doesn't even say like Dick, whatever, like Dick Donato, right? Is his name?
Evil Dick. It's known as Evil
It's just
Dick.
Evil Dick. It's not even his like real name. And Mike Boogie, is that his real name?
No.
No.
That's his stage name for
Okay.
his fail clubs. You want to know about fail clubs? Type in Mike Boogie into a Google search.
But
And
he's in the Hall of Fame, guys. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Yes, first
Mike
ballot
Boogie.
Hall of Famer and first ballot jailbird.
Yeah,
Mike Boogie.
All right. I don't know if I
That just
necessarily
tells you-
agree with that.
That just goes to show you how entertaining this episode was that you had to make that tangent.
I had to because the episode itself, like, okay, it was a lot of people that shoving their faces in pies. And then there was this whole thing with Jasmine being the HOH. And quite frankly, like, she's not making it easy to like her on the show right now.
No, she's not. You're
She's quite frankly a little bit of, like, I don't care if any of these people go. And like, I think that one of the things you need to do in the diary room is to try to get America to connect with you on some level. And you need to have some level of empathy, even if it's contrived.
Well, I disagree with that. I think you need to be genuine. I'm glad that Jasmine's being genuine to us in the diary room. I don't like her, this genuine, like, yeah, like kind of like demeanor toward the house. But you know what? She's a good player. I have to give her that. You know, I think she will play well.
Jaemeel?
I agree with, I think it was B Bean's message. Absolutely.
Well, he was talking about the Hall of Fame more specifically, but game control, strategy, social
I'm
game
just
winner.
Giving credit where credit's due. B Bean, thank you. Components to be on the Hall of Fame list that was listed: game control, strategy, social game winner, entertainment. In terms of DR, definitely a lot of it makes sense, but I still feel like I would replace Enzo definitely with Paul. Going back to your message in terms of Jasmine's being her genuine self, which is great. But understand, just because you're genuine doesn't make you a hero, okay? Right? In terms of the character presentation and how you come across. And that's fine. We need villains. And Jasmine seems fit naturally to fit into that role.
Yeah, I agree with that. Jeff?
Yeah. Think it's going to be hard for her to come across as like in a positive light, I think, toward the audience, just the way she's playing the game to the camera, you know, like I think she's relishing a little bit of a villain role, or like I'm smarter than you role, but I'm going to act dumb, you know.
Her expressions are a little bit distracting for me because her eyebrows kind of are like,
They're too aggressive.
They're very present. And so I'm always like, hello, every time she talks. You know, sometimes she fills them in with the pencil, I'm told. So it's I don't know. This is gonna be a week, guys, here on Big Brother 24 with Jasmine is the HOH. Are you guys ready for multiple diary room sessions?
It's hard to listen to. I've said it at the top, but it's hard to listen to her do it, especially in the DR. Like it's
brutal.
It's really bad.
But I think you're just doing this for attention, and we can see that. I'm ready to see some jousting and jiving.
That last one you played, the first one, was exactly her. Yeah.
And enjoy me a good old feast with a big old turkey leg.
Oh
leg.
Turkey leg.
My name is Jasmine, and I cannot wait to meet OTEV this summer.
I thought it was kind of funny that Daniel got to do the accent in the competition. So,
are you mocking me? Are you mocking me?
Are you this is my voice.
That's what it. I wanted that. I'm like, are they mocking Jasmine? It's like, no, this is just how it goes. Oh,
Question here is
God.
why is Jasmine's southern accent so much stronger in her DRs than on the feeds?
BB, I brought this up first time. She's code switching and she's playing up a role. She's handing it up.
It's a caricature
Yes.
of a person in the DR. It's not like
It's like when people yell all the time in the DR and they never yell in
Right.
in person, right? They're just trying to put forth a personality on in the DRs, and it just comes completely as invalid and inaccurate, and just a presentation of play, right? A ruse, right? It's not their real character.
Like Kyland? Is that this example?
Well, what if we drop the attitude on both of our parts?
Oh my God, I'm watching a movie.
I'm just irritated.
Oh my gosh.
Jeff, any thoughts on Jasmine?
I just think I think she thinks she's in with the big alliance and stuff, but I don't think it's going to work out for her. I think she's going to get picked off, right around the jury or right before. I just don't see her. I think she's smart enough, but I just don't know if she has the social game.
Okay, and then can we talk about Pooch?
Pooch is gone.
Say
goodbye to Pooch and Turner, or what? Turner and Pooch.
Turner and Pooch.
Say goodbye to it.
Are you saying this is not going to happen? My dream of Turner and Pooch.
Not gonna happen. No, not gonna happen. Pooch is Brent 2.0. He's gone.
No,
he's gone.
That pink shirt.
Pink shirt gone.
Yeah,
Right
blue
back to
eyes?
Florida. Right back to coaching football players
In Boca Raton.
in Boca Raton.
All right,
He's an
very good.
Italian boy, but he lives in Florida. It's not what you think. It's not what people necessarily always think about Pooch. He's also smart. He's getting.
He can do
degrees.
homework.
He's getting his second degree. He can do
Yeah.
homework.
All right. Well, guys, on that note, I think we need to get into our spoiler section of the show.
Yeah.
And talk about what's happening with the veto and everything else like that. If you don't want to know, get out of here now. But we're gonna talk about what's coming the rest of the week, especially this week, because we're not sure if we can make the Thursday podcast at this point. So if you want to get out here, come back Wednesday and hear our coverage then. Until then, here's the spoiler warning. That's right.
Veto. Participants in the veto. So you have the two noms, plus you have the head of household. You had Michael.
There's two more.
Michael, was it Amira? I can't remember. Hold on a second. Sorry. Womp 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 womp. Of course,
Michael, you say.
Michael, I said. Hold on a second.
It was.
He has a shirt with cats.
Amira and Terrence also participated.
Yes. And the winner of veto number 2 is Michael.
Michael, the
With
cat
the cats.
shirt.
It's comp beast.
That's
Compies, 2 vetoes in a row. He's the only one
2
to win a
vetoes,
veto this
and
season.
technically he was runner-up in HOH.
Yep.
He was the runner-up, technical runner-up. Okay, so that's
So,
exciting. What's the percentage chance Pooch stays now?
In my world, 100%, but it looks like there's heavy push for noms to stay the same, because if Michael takes, let's say, for example, Taylor off, Pooch is telling Michael that Jasmine is going to put up Brittany on the block as a replacement, and Michael wants to work with Brittany and wants to protect her, so therefore that might prevent him. But if Jasmine might go in a different direction as well, so we don't know. The original plan was Michael's the only veto winner this season. Let's see how that goes. The only reason, the only reason that Pooch went up is trying to get Taylor out, right? But the votes were already in place for Pooch to get out. Now,
Pooch to get out instead of Taylor.
So we're gonna have to see if people actually keep with that. The information hasn't gone to Pooch yet. The three people who don't know supposedly was Monty, Kyle, and Pooch himself. And Monty has been informed of the situation of wanting to get out Pooch. So we'll see if that is communicated to Pooch and what his reaction will be.
Okay, so let's say the nominations stay the same here, and then the target is presumably who? Pooch?
Supposedly, yes. And they have enough votes technically to get him out.
Right. So that means that the first two out of the house will be Paloma and Pooch. Okay, one boy, one girl. Okay.
Yep.
So, all right. What do you see after that? How do you see the rest of this game unfolding?
It depends on who wins HOH.
Okay.
All right.
But let's focus on this week then. 7 votes are needed to stay. So the Pooch voters could be Alyssa, Amira, Nicole, Brittany, Indy, Daniel, Kyle, Michael, Terrence. Remember Terrence? He's a voter.
I know, but many of the women want to get rid of Pooch. Michael would get rid of Pooch, right? And then you have
The women control this vote.
Turner, Daniel, Kyle, right? And some people have already said, like Daniel said that he would vote out Pooch.
The men control the vote because the woman is HOH, and a woman went home.
But there's 5 women and 4 men.
Was there more women cast than men in this house?
There's just more women voting in this particular.
Why though? A woman is HOH, and a woman went home last week. Why is there more women?
Okay, who's missing? Turner's missing from this list.
Yeah.
7 votes are needed. So BB is suggesting that these are the 7 votes. There's more than 7 here.
Well, technically, as long as for Pooch to say he would need 7 votes. For Taylor to stay, she just needs 6 votes
to evict.
Because if Jasmine is saying what is accurately saying what she's saying, if they get a tie vote, she will vote Pooch out as the tiebreaker.
7 out of 12. There's 12 voters.
No, there's 12 voters. Yes. So for Taylor to stay, she only needs 6. If Jasmine is true to what she's saying, in terms she would get rid of Pooch.
Right, but how much of a difference does it make if it's Taylor this week, Jeff, or if it's Pooch? What's the long-term consequence?
Really none. Like, there's going to be a bunch of players here, I think, that get voted out that really never got into an alliance that was solid. And I think
Pooch one of them?
Yeah, Pooch is one of them.
Well, Pooch was in...
Taylor's one of them. I think, they're kind of solo. I just think they're kind of on their own, whereas it seems like the other players are more together. That's the impression I get. You know what I mean?
I think the result that would occur if Pooch is gone is that I think the men's alliance would either strengthen but have less power, right? Ultimately, or they would just break up.
Well, if they see Pooch evicted here, is that could have solidified their alliance or break it up? I
think it would break up. Because you would then only have 4 guys in the all guys alliance. Unless they decide to add more guys to it.
Well, there's more guys available.
I know, but like they would have to make that decision of like
If they
bolstering
lost
the ranks.
Pooch, they could add Michael, for instance.
Yeah, but Michael will probably just be a double agent for the girls' side.
They can add
Daniel?
No, Daniel's already in.
I'm sorry, not Daniel. Is Anthony in?
No.
So
Who's
they can add Anthony.
There is no Anthony.
I keep on calling him Anthony. You know who I'm
Joseph's
talking about.
already in it, so you can't
Yeah.
add Joseph. But
He
Anthony
should change his
would
name to
be fine.
Anthony.
He looks like an Anthony.
Joseph, you're an Anthony.
He's one of those babies that when they were born, they should have switched. You know what? He looks like an Anthony.
You should be an Anthony. No, you're Joseph.
So with there's 5 guys in the all guys
Terrence,
alliance.
you could add Terrence.
They're not going to want to add Terrence because
Instead
they
of
think
Pooch?
Terrence is dead meat.
Terrence is going to win this game.
No.
No?
Terrence ain't winning this game. His hat will not be in that house at the end.
He's going to hang his hat out at the end, guys. Like,
no, I don't see that happening.
you're going to count this man out so early. This is a man. This is DJ Fresh, right out of Chicago, guys. This guy's got it.
No.
Stupid hat.
No, I don't think he's got it. I
Yeah.
don't think he's long for the game. He's one of those other players like Taylor and like Pooch that are kind of on their own. Indy might be another one of those players at some point. So and Turner. So,
but this season we're spinning a whole new record.
Jeez, I just when I heard that, I was like,
DJ Showtime always has a couple of tricks up his sleeve.
No?
No, he doesn't have any tricks up his sleeve.
Yeah. It's your boy Terrence.
What's up? What's up? It's your boy Terrence, one of the hottest karaoke DJs in Chicago. What's up?
No?
It's your boy.
He's not my boy.
I'm left-handed. That's where all my power is.
Stop it. Stop it. I think that for the men's side, if they're smart, if Booch does get eliminated, they don't take it as a negative. They take it as a positive, right?
Right.
And-
Well, then it would be 5, which is probably more of a doable alliance if the Oasis was to stay together. That being Daniel, Kyle, Monty, Turner, and Joseph, not Anthony.
But with Michael not being with them and Daniel, I think he's more on Nicole's side. I don't think the men's alliance has a chance of actually succeeding.
What about the all women's alliance? What about girls?
They have a better chance. They have, for the most part, had more power.
Amira, Brittany, Jasmine, Alyssa, and Indy, perhaps.
Nicole.
Are Monty and Joe together?
Monty and Joe.
You mean Pooch?
No, I mean Joe.
Joseph?
Yes.
Yeah.
Dave, not this again. Not this again.
Like
you knew what he meant.
Monty.
Hi, my name is Joseph, and in my
name is Joseph.
Monty, Kyle, and Joe are like the 3 big male threats in the house. Right?
Hi, my name is Joseph.
Kyle reminds me of Minkus from Boy Meets World.
I would say that those 3 players are the biggest.
People don't
threats.
like Joseph. Dave's here.
They don't like Terrence either.
They don't like Monty either.
They don't like any of these people,
No,
but they gotta
well-
work together to win $1 million or have 3/4 of $1 million, whatever it is, right? So,
And there will be Daniel and Nicole in the middle of it all. The road
if
Rabbits.
who's the most likely to win at this time, Jaemeel? If you had to say somebody right now, who's gonna win this big? Who's gonna win Brother 24?
If it were me, I would say Amira.
I was gonna say Amira too.
Why?
She's saying all the right things. She's positioned pretty well on both sides of the house, right? She's unassuming, but she's still very intelligent. She's not an athletic deficit. I think that socially she's still fine in general. I think she's fine.
It's her and like Michael, I would say, are the 2 front runners right now.
Michael is too much of a. He needs to slow down in terms of winning competitions.
Here's a good question too. I think from BB, which makes me think, comps won by Oasis 0, which is the All Boys Alliance, right? How are they a threat? And the other, we're talking about how impressive Amira's game is here, and Michael, who even though he's a boy, is not part of that Oasis Alliance, right? So therefore, does the house have any respect for that traditional sort of, I'm the alpha macho jock guy, you have to run by me, and like the jocks sort of run the house, whether they win or not? Do you think that we're sort of past that yet, Jaemeel?
I think as we start seeing more physical competition, because they're just licking their chops trying to get that in, you're going to see a better chance of that happening. But at the same time, it's once again, women are not at an athletic deficit so much.
Right. Competitions are not always strength driven. Sometimes they're just, puzzles or whatever.
Do you trust Monty with the puzzle?
No.
Right now? What about Pooch?
No.
Like Daniel?
Of the boys, who's the most likely to solve a puzzle? Probably Turner. But even him. Yeah.
So flip that side. What about the women? Do you feel the same way?
I feel like there are more hopefuls on the women's side, like Amira in particular. I feel like Monty is not impressing me that much. A question here from BB is, does Amira's game compare to Tiffany from Big Brother 23?
We might never know because things are being positioned differently than BB23, and she's not a main character as of yet. She's got a little bit of sound bites finally, but
yeah, not like Tiffany had.
You might be slick, but you can't fool me.
Tiffany had occasional memories, but once again, or DR session that are memorable, but Amira not yet. She's only had a couple, but she's in a good position, so that's why I see her as one that could, do very well.
I feel amazing.
Davey. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Blood is my life.
She's a phlebotomist, everybody. Don't forget it. All right. So, guys, what else can we say about the spoiler section? What's going into this week? We know that Michael's the veto holder. Will he use it? Will he not? Assuming that the nominations do the same, it seems like Pooch is the likely target. However, Taylor's just as expendable to most of the house, it seems.
Pooch comes off the block, then Taylor's gone.
Yeah. Yes. Everyone forgot Daniel won HOH. That's okay. Even Daniel forgot because there was no implications to his HOH other than he nominated 3 people and got none evicted. That was sort of the net result of it. Mm-hmm. It's one of the worst HOHs in history, like objectively speaking, especially first HOHs. So, because he got somebody out. Well, somebody left. He didn't get them out at all. So he has no credit in all this sort of collateral damage with 3 people not feeling so good about him. 3 people have a reason to nominate him if they win.
He should be mending fences now just in case they get power.
I don't think that's very likely. For Daniel Durston, 35, Vegas performer, Nevada.
You don't think he can at least build inroads with with Michael? I don't think Michael's necessarily going to trust him, but he can have conversations with him to help and soften that blow, so he doesn't immediately think of you to feed an elimination.
I don't have a lot of faith in this man, Jeff.
He would be smart to mend fences with Michael.
He would be. Will he do it?
Probably not.
Yeah.
No.
You're right. You're absolutely
all right, guys. Well, we're going to wrap up here for Big Brother 24, the Sunday nominations episode for week 2 here on Big Brother 24. Thanks for being with us. We're gonna be back Wednesday to talk about the veto episode, which we already know will be Michael, but the people in the non-spoiler section won't know that yet.
It's the journey,
it's
not
a
necessarily
journey.
the destination.
Thank you, Harry Kim. And on that note, I think we should also note our other podcasts here. Did you know that we covered the whole season of Survivor 42, guys? If you watch Survivor, you should go back and watch our coverage of that, and 41 and 40. Maybe the one before that. I'm not quite sure. Also, Big Brother Canada 10 and 9. We have all these companion podcasts you should go back and listen to if you haven't already. Especially if you watch those shows, you are welcome, BB. And also, you should check out our other channels, including Live Long and Podcast, our Star Trek themed channel, where we talk about Monday Star Trek Enterprise. That's the wrong. No, I'm on the wrong. That's the wrong place.
Well, it's definitely been a long road.
It's
been a long road.
I have to remember. I'm not on that list anymore. But guys, so check out that Monday night Star Trek Enterprise rewatch. They're talking this week about the Communicator. On Tuesdays, Star Trek Deep Space Nine at 9ish. We're talking about the next episode, Ferengi Love Songs. Jeff Mater over at Live Long and Podcast. Check that out soon. Check out our reviews of past Star Trek new shows, like the newest shows that they put out there, including Strange New Worlds, Prodigy, Discovery, Lower Decks, all of them. There's so much new Star Trek content out there. We talked about a lot of it in the last couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
Check out our podcasts over there, plus Star Trek Radio Theater, our script reads of Star Trek. Last night we did the Star Trek episode Death Wish from Voyager's second season. It's like a Q episode, really good. Had a lot of fun doing it. Check out the live version and the edited version to come in the future. Plus, guys, Trivial Debates. In just 1 week's time, we have our next installment, our third channel. Jody Simpson hosting on Sunday, July 24th, 2022 at 10 a.m. Eastern. We got Jody with Jeff Mater and Max Duda and Chris Murphy competing. This is a match made for the ages. You need to check this out. Max doesn't have a hope in hell, but we're gonna see how this is gonna play out. And maybe Max will be the dark horse in this. Who's to say?
I will have something to say.
Jeff will have something to say about that. He's on the panel. Also, you should check out our friends' podcasts, including the Hellbound podcast with Michael Chan and Alex Blackburn. Wednesdays, a horror themed podcast. You should check out Let's Talk About Fighting Games with Sam Jerka, also known as Eamon Mater, my son, where they talk about King of Fighters and other great games, not Mega Man. And then you should also check out what else? Locutors of Trek, Davin Skelhorn Star Trek theme channel, as well as X-Men, the animated series rewatch series called X-Rated, which he does every Tuesday. This I think it's this Tuesday he's talking to Lenore Zahn, the
Very
voice
exciting.
of Rogue, the voice of Rogue. Hey, Sugar. Also a former member of Canadian Parliament on his podcast X-Rated, the X-Men animated series rewatch series. So guys, have I forgot anything? If not, I think we can close it out tonight. Thank you for being with us, everybody, and we will see you next time here on Super Mario Brothers Podcasting. All right.
Burning the kettle on both ends.
Expecting the expected.
Expect the unexpected. Here we go.
Part of my process to become a sex coach is literally to find out what makes you happy. I don't mind playing with Pucci. I don't know if that's his thing, but I would never judge him.